Hi, I'm Celeste and welcome to Find Your Purple. Today is day 26 on SSSVEDA, a video every day for the month of August. And today marks my finishing of writing out the New Testament in longhand. I started January 1 and I pretty much did a chapter a day, and today was chapter 22 in Revelations. And the reason I did it was because now I've read the Bible completely twice, once from Genesis to Revelations and once in chronological order. Then I've read the New Testament, I think this marked the third or the fourth time. But what I wanted to do is, I remembered in high school and college, I found the best way for me to study and retain the info was to write it down in longhand. So I don't know if that's kinesthetic learning, but I would write down questions from the chapter and then I would study my notes. And I did that all the way through college and through my master's. And so I thought, well, if I wrote the New Testament, then maybe that would help ingrain it in me. Maybe my mind wouldn't wander so much and I would, not skim. Because I think when you read fiction a lot, over the years, I think I became very guilty of skimming. And Orson Scott Card wrote Ender's Game, and he was one of my favorite authors for years and years. And I listened to an interview once. It's when audiobooks were still fairly new, and people were arguing that that wasn't the same as reading, and how did he feel about it as a famous author. And his answer struck me. He said, listening to stories and storytelling is what has been around for thousands of years. That is how the true stories were told. So the fact we're getting into audiobooks, we're going back to our roots, not moving away from them as people had suggested. He said when you read, people have a tendency to skip over words. And Orson Scott Card's point was when you're listening, then you're hearing every word. So I thought with writing it, I listen to it once, I write it, and then I listen to it again. And I just feel it helped me grasp some things that I missed before. Granted, every time I read, I'm catching more and more. It's making a little bit more and more sense. My mind does wander when I write still, which kind of surprised me that you could be writing and yet your mind goes off into something else. So that I still had to pull it back. But I did complete writing the New Testament. Don't intend on writing the Old Testament. I'm still in what they say the two phases of reading a book is they compare it to a garden when you're just raking the leaves or digging up planters and planting the flowers and all of that. And admittedly, I am still in the raking of leaves of the Bible. I think now I'm ready to go into the digging. So I'm going to stay on the New Testament, start going in a little bit deeper. I think I'm ready now. I have a context. I'm familiar with overall where things are and how they relate. And now I just need to start focusing a little deeper. So anyway, I thought I would share that with you. That's quite an accomplishment for me. Partway in, I kind of regretted that I started it, but sometimes you bite off more than you can chew, but I did finish it, and that's it. As always, grab your cup of tea, sit back, and let's start sharing. Until next time, bye-bye.